hello, welcome back. So for today, it's not a back and buys, it is just buys, forearms, and hand control. Starting off with the hammer curls. And I'm using the fat grips, of course. You're going to hear fat grips quite a bit. But for today, keeping it a little light. I think I have maybe the 40s. With the fat grips, as I said before, it's a little bit more difficult to hold on to the fucking weight. Just using those, I mean, anybody that's used them in the past, they know, or anybody that uses bigger attachments for handles, the bigger it is, the harder it is to hold on to. So exactly what you want for grip strength when it comes to arm wrestling, or when it comes to anything where you're using any part of your body to lift up heavy things. That's what it's about. It's about having that control with your wrist, with your grip, with your hand. If you can't hold on to it, it's gonna slip, because realistically you're not gonna have your wrist straps to pick certain things up. So that's where the fat grips help you out quite a bit. After, I think I only recorded two of everything, so video hopefully will be a little bit shorter for you. But after the hammer curls, went over to the cables, and I did a bit of wrist curls. That's like straight up down, more for risers. So that's what I was doing there. And then after that, jumped over to seated preacher curls, doing 45s on each side. And let's go for a quick trip back over to the cables. And with this, I believe I started with supination instead of pronation this time. Most of the time I start with pronation, but it's always good to switch it up. Keep your body guessing. Yeah, it's just good for you mentally, of course. I completely forgot to use the fat grips for this. You'll see it later on. I'll come back in. I did use it for the pronation, a bunch of other things, but just completely forgot. I'm so used to doing it without them that I just fell back into a habit. Just grabbed it up and pulled it in real quick. With forearms, I've always enjoyed having big forearms. Even when I was younger, I think it was like 8th grade, whatever it was, 7th, 8th grade. My my buddy Noah Frazier, he had pretty big forearms. He was a few years older than I was, but we'd make a muscle, of course, with our bicep, but the forearm, that's what I always enjoyed, having a big forearm on my arm. So yeah, with this, I actually really enjoy working out with my forearms, doing a forearm workout. I always have, even in high school. I'd add that to my repertoire, which nobody in high school works their forearms because nobody cares. But when you already have something that's naturally big, sometimes you want to improve a little bit on that. So with this supination, we do have a machine downstairs at our gym where it's devoted 100% to forearms, which I've used in the past. You're going to see it later on in the video. You can do supination with that. And you know what? I probably will bring that back out next time I do my arms, just so you can take a look, see how it's done. I love that machine, but I got to keep in mind that not too many gyms actually have that, because that's the first time I've ever seen this machine. Well, not this one, but the one I'm going to show you. After that, I made my way over to seated machine preachers. Once again, using the fat grip. I can tell that I had a nice head of hair going on with this one, but nothing too new here. I use the fat grip. I switch it up each side. You can do double arms at the same time. I don't feel it very helpful unless you want to get a couple extra pounds on there, because you're squeezing together. You could probably get a little bit more weight going. If you just want to throw it around, you definitely can. For what I'm trying to do, that's really not as necessary. I want to make sure that I'm doing the single arm, replicating what it's going to be like on the table, and then right after that, jumping right into pronation. And you can see I am using the fat grips. I was luckily enough able to remember. So that's what you see here. I have the nice fat grip, so it mimics holding on to someone else's hand. And when you're 306 or 290 or even 250, or anyway, it could be 150. When you're going in against someone else that arm wrestles, they're probably going to have a pretty big hand. It's probably going to be pretty thick because they work on the same things that you work on. So it's great to have that to train with. And if you don't, you can use a towel. Wrap the towel, twist it around, and then double it up. It's going to act the same way. But Fat Gripz definitely worth the money. I've only had them probably for about 2 weeks now, and I love them definitely. I probably will end up going to the next size up, the extremes, once I'm quite ready. But yeah, so this is just from a different angle, just getting you to see a little bit closer up what it does look like. Pronation, great for top rolling, and that's predominantly what I am, a top roller. Like I said in the past, I am trying to get a little bit better with getting into the hook. Usually they say that when you get into a hook, you rely more on your bicep, and I feel that I have pretty big biceps, pretty strong biceps, but it's not translating to the table because it feels like it's putting too much pressure on them. And even when I'm going against guys that are half my size, it feels like I'm not able to control them as much as I would like to. So I'm gonna stick to the top roll, and then maybe throw in hooks once I'm a little bit more developed with my biceps. So that's it. When you feel comfortable, stick with it. If you don't feel comfortable, try and get better at it, and that's it. First time showing you this, but it's pretty similar to any other either standing hammer curl or even the machine that I was just on, the preacher machine. Same thing. I'm not sure if you see how much agony I am in with my left, but my left is quite a bit stronger than my right when I'm fully healthy, and it does not feel that way in this video, and it didn't feel that way when I was actually doing it. So I believe I did one more set with the same weight, and then I ended up even dropping the weight a little bit just so I can get an extra one because I don't feel I was getting the burn that I wanted to out of it. But this is great for building up your strength, especially last couple I should have pulled up myself and then let it go down, but I still had a pretty big workout ahead of me, so I didn't. But that's, looking back on it, I really should have forced a couple of negatives, pull the weight up with the other hand, and then let it slowly go down. Hold it as long as you can. I do it in the past, and I should have done it this time. I'm not sure if it was just the left just fucking with my head, but that's something that I didn't do that I should do what I preach. So you'll see me doing the next one, just because I should do it even more on the seated preachers, just because you're not always going to be in a winning position. Trust me, I know. So it's good to get better with those negatives, to try and hold it as long as you possibly can, because you're going to meet someone out there that's faster than you and that's stronger than you, and the longer that you can hold them up without getting pinned, the better off you're going to be. And worked my way downstairs to the basement, to the dungeon, right over to seated grip strength, working on 425s, and then right into the forearm machine. You can do this for risers. Right now I'm doing extensions, which you can roll that up so that cable does roll all the way up and it does roll all the way down when you're doing your cupping or the extensions. Extensions, I've gone over this in the past. I don't feel it as beneficial in arm wrestling specifically, because you're not working on your cupping, you're not working on your pronation, it's your supination, but what it's doing is it's making your forearms stronger all around. It's making them bigger, and I feel that can't hurt. It's not gonna hurt me on the table to work on extensions that way. Bigger forearms, stronger forearms. That's what you want, and maybe that this exercise is just something for me, something not for arm wrestling. So yeah, I stick usually with the same weight. I try and find a weight that's good for me, with 3 sets, 4 sets, whatever it might be. And then I'm not sure if you notice, actually, I'm not going to be able to show you, but on the grip machine, I start off with 3 fingers. The weakest 3 fingers, my pinky, ring, and middle. And then once I do as many as I can with those 3, then I add in my index just to pump out a few more. That's where I'm definitely lacking, is my last 2 fingers, my pinky and my ring finger. When I'm going up against Jerry, Damien, Fitzy, they open me right up. So that's what I'm trying to get better at. My pinky and ring finger. So hopefully I can hold them a little bit longer. They're still gonna rip right through me, but every every little bit helps, I guess. And then back upstairs, working on the cupping. With this, for some reason, I feel like I can do even more weight with the fat grips, which I don't know if it makes sense to anybody else, but I wouldn't think that I'd be able to just because it's tougher to hold on to. But for the cupping, for whatever reason, everything else is more difficult. That's just a fact. But with this, for some reason, I'm not sure if it's. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not even gonna pretend to bullshit you. I'm not sure, but I do like it much better with a fat grip. It seems like it's even easier. I don't necessarily know if the pump is any better. I always get an incredible pump on this when I was just using the regular handle. So I don't think it's just that. It's just I'm gonna keep on doing it just because it mimics holding on to that person's hand. So next time, well, even though I love the cable, I think I get a crazy pump out of it. I'll probably show you what it looks like with the dumbbell. And you could do the dumbbell different angles. You could do this with different angles as well, but this my position, it's like I'm on the table. So that's why I do this quite a bit. But next time I'll show you what it looks like where you're lifting the actual weight up with the dumbbell. So you have your elbow higher than your wrist, or you can do it flat on a bench. You can do it that way. So yeah, let me hopefully I remember next time to show you what that looks like. But no matter what with this, you can even do a bar, just a regular 45 like a Olympic size bar on the ground, lift up one end, put the weights on, and then just have your forearm over your knee and just do it that way. I've done that a few times. But yeah, another arm day in the bag. I'll talk to you soon.